in baseball. Reds and Brewers. Reds winners of 7 of their last 8. Even up 27-27 on the season. Brewers winners of 4 straight. Deadlock with the Reds in the standings. Final week of the season as the Brewers and Reds go head-to-head tonight on Fox Sports Ohio. And this, as they say, is what it's all about. As from Great American Ballpark, it is the first of a 3-game set. Little Central Division rivalry baseball. Reds and Brewers straight ahead. And hi again, everyone. Alongside Chris Welsh, I'm Jim Day. This is as fun as it gets as well. Big time looking forward to tonight.
Well, Jim, this is the beginning of the beginning or the beginning of the end for one of these two ball clubs between now and the end of the week. They're both playing good baseball. They're both coming in here knowing what they have to do. And the stage is set for what the Reds had hoped at the very beginning of the year, that it would play out just like this. That they would have an important series to play, and you'd have your 3 best pitchers on the mound. Luis Castillo tonight, Sonny Gray tomorrow, Trevor Bauer wraps it up on Wednesday. It doesn't get any better than that. These guys are your main bullets.
And for Luis Castillo, getting hot and right at the right time.
Well, I mean, he's really made adjustment after adjustment as the year goes on. But what strikes me most about Castillo right now is his sense of confidence out there. He takes the mound, and he's got tremendous mound presence anyway. But the way he's throwing the ball, he knows that no matter what jam he's in, he's going to be able to get out of that jam. And that's a very important feeling when you're a pitcher.
Brandon Woodruff goes for the Brewers. When he's on, he's got ace stuff. What 2 pitches are we looking for tonight?
Well, the pitches that we're looking for are different from each of these pitchers. One, with Castillo, it's obviously the changeup. 60% of the changeups is responsible for all of his strikeouts because that's what his main pitch is. Woodruff, on the other hand, he's a big old country boy. He brings that big old country fastball, throws it up around the letters, gets about 67% of his strikeouts by using that fastball up at the top of the zone. But by the way, Woodruff is not a one-pitch pitcher. He's also got a slider. He's also has a very good improving changeup. And he's a guy that can get right out of the gate and mow you right down before you know what you're doing. It's in the 6th or 7th inning.
And don't look now, Ryan Braun. Reds have seen a bunch of him over the years on the Reds killer list, getting hot here in September.
Well, this is what he does in September. He has probably had more big home runs for the Milwaukee Brewers in September than he has in all the other months combined. He's a guy that somehow answers the bell late in the season. Even if he's a little gimpy with the legs, doesn't make any difference. And right now, he's centering the ball pretty good. About a 5-game hitting streak. By the way, hitting over 500.
You win, you get in. 6 games left in the season for the Cincinnati Reds. Should be a fun ride. When we come back, we're talking Joey Votto and more. Jeff Piccoro standing by on the home of the Reds. Fox Sports Ohio.
Lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealers. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Well, Jesse Winker got off to a little bit of a slow start this season. Then he caught absolute fire. Then he went through a little bit of a lull, but he is back again. And boy, does he love playing against the Milwaukee Brewers. 500 average, 3 homers, 6 RBI this year alone versus the Brew Crew. He has 11 homers and 22 RBI on the season. Well, Joey Votto is clicking off milestones almost weekly here with the Reds. This past week, he passed Barry Larkin on the RBI list, and just yesterday, he passed Pete Rose on the all-time walks list for the Cincinnati Reds. But those honors pale in comparison to something we learned about yesterday.
If you're on the Reds Major League roster for 10 years and the clubhouse staff likes you, then they bestow upon you a shirt. Bronson Arroyo has one, and I have, I think, the second. You know, this was like literally like the coolest thing. I have, this is the sort of thing that I would put side by side with my MVP award. So this is like one of the proudest days of my career right here. Every Sunday home game. And if the cleats are out there, I help clean the cleats because this is, you know, you wear the shirt, you have to do a little bit of work. So, yeah.
It's actually something Bronson Arroyo started a few years ago, helping clean the cleats. He said that's all he wanted to do when he retired from baseball, is come in and help the clubbies clean the cleats. Well, a happy Joey Votto makes for a happy Reds clubhouse. And tonight they start one of the biggest series of the season. And let's hope Joey and his mates are happy. The Reds have got their three best, Castillo, Gray, and Bauer, lined up to pitch against the Brew Crew.
It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Another stunning weather night here in the Queen City. And the stage is set for a Central Division showdown. Brewers and Reds deadlocked in the standings. A week to go in the season, both vying for the playoffs. And Luis Castillo will head out to the mound in arguably the biggest game of his career.
Well, I hope he doesn't think that out there. I hope that really what he thinks about is strike one, strike two, burying the other team, filling the strike zone full of pitches. And that's basically what Luis Castillo has done lately. I mean, he's gotten better and better as the year's gone on. His slider continues to improve. His changeup is better now than it has been because he's throwing it over the plate but low, getting a lot of swings and chases that way. And, of course, that fastball he's still dialing up almost to 98 miles an hour.
Facing Brandon Woodruff. Check out our Elk and Elk storylines. Third time that these two will go head-to-head. And you look at the numbers, July 4th, 2019. Earlier this season, August 25th. And each with solid outings going head-to-head.
Well, really what you're looking at with these two guys are low-scoring ball games. And you would expect that in a year in which there are a lot of times where good hitters don't seem to have ever got caught on fire. Pitchers have been dominated, and it might be a dominated by pitching tonight game that we're going to look at here between the Brewers and the Reds.
Here's the Brewers lineup brought to you by Jeff Weiler Automotive. Garcia will lead off. Christian Yelich, look out in the 2 spot, followed by Ryan Braun. He's the designated hitter. Vogelback is quite the story. Keston here at second base. Jerko, Peterson, Arcia, Omar Narvaez behind the plate. Abisail Garcia digging in. First of 3 versus Milwaukee. Meaningful baseball in September, and we are underway. 96-mile-per-hour fastball starts this one. .70-degree game time temperature, not a cloud in the sky. And Castillo out, no balls and 2 strikes. Luis has been fantastic of late, as we talked about in the open. Last 3 starts, 3-0 record, 1.23 ERA, including his first complete game in Major League Baseball. A 1-2 pitch. Charging is Suarez. 1 down. Here's the rest of the Reds defensively, brought to you by Ford. Akiyama in left, Goodwin the start in center, Castellanos in right. Alongside Suarez, Freddie Galvis, the veteran, getting the start at shortstop. Moustakas at second, Votto at first, Kurt Casale, the battery mate of Castillo. And the batter is Christian Yelich. Look at the numbers for Yelich here in 2020. Throughout most of this, it has been a down season. Obviously, when you're comparing it to an MVP season. But you can almost wipe those out because against the Reds, he has been a world beater.
Well, the one thing that Yelich, he got off to a bad start and never really was able to put it all together. I don't know whether he had some nicks and bruises along the way, but he's a dangerous hitter. The one area where he's really had some problems are breaking pitches down low. If you start charting his home runs and where his power is, for a tall guy, he gets on top of the high pitch very well.
And a line drive to left field.
On cue.
Very
High
much
fastball.
on cue.
Just tried to run that baby up, and I don't know how Yelich gets that bat from the barrel head of the bat pointed to the pitcher all the way back into the hitting zone so quickly and catches those high fastballs. It's amazing how quick he can be. His weakness, though, is down.
And here's Ryan Braun hitting in the 3 spot. His numbers this season, 264 average, 7 home runs, 25 RBIs. But during the month of September, he has really turned up the wick. Per usual. This is a little tapper, though. Castillo's play will be to first. 2 outs. Yelich moving to second base. And a couple of former teammates reacquainting themselves. Moustakis, he tried to say, and Yelich. And here is Daniel Vogelbach. And what a story he is. This season, and that's split amongst many teams. Brewers picked him up off of waivers, trying to catch lightning in a bottle back on September 3rd. And boy, has he caught lightning in a bottle, including yesterday. Had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Check it out with Seattle, 0.94 average. With Toronto for just 2 games, 0 for 4. With the Brewers, 4.17 average.
You know, and it wasn't like the Mariners didn't give Vogelbach a chance. He was 5 for 53. Bye-bye. 0 for 4. Toronto, bye-bye. He comes over here with the Brewers, and he simply goes off, saving all his hits for late in the year.
1.197 OPS with the Brewers. Listed at 6 feet 270. That's a big old dude right there. Counts 2-1 on Vogelbach. Three balls and a strike.
All right, so you got a big guy at the plate, 6'2", 270. Got a skinny pitcher on the mound. But the weapon is a 5-ounce baseball. I'm not so sure 272 helps you there.
It does not. And it's a strike called. The home plate umpire tonight is Chad Whitson.
Well, how about that pitch on a 3-1 count? Luis Castillo dials up a changeup and lays it right on the corner.
Payoff pitch. Just off the plate. So the inning extended for Keston Hiura.
Well, if it missed the plate, it didn't miss by much. We see our electronic strike zone just a little bit showed outside. It looked like Casale moved his glove just a little bit trying to frame that pitch.
Castillo was a step towards the dugout. He thought it was strike 3. But now first and second, 2 outs. The right-handed hitting Keston Hiura. .220 batter, 13 home runs, 32 driven in. He struck out those 74 times, most in the National League. That's a fair ball, and Casale will tag out Hiura. Single walk, no problem. Has his club in line for a playoff berth if They can play good baseball over the final week of the season or the final 6 games. And here's the lineup he'll run out tonight, brought to you by Jeff Weiler Automotive. Akiyama in the leadoff spot, Castellanos, Votto, Suarez, and Moustakas in the middle, Winker the DH, Goodwin in center field, Galvis at shortstop, Kurt Casale batting ninth and doing the catching. And on the hill, big Brandon Woodruff.
Big hard throwing Brandon Woodruff, 18-10 in his career. He's 2-4 this year, Woodruff is. Fastball, changeup, slider, curveball.
First pitch to Akiyama is a fastball at 95 in for a strike.
What he likes to do the most is elevate that fastball up around the letters and just above the strike zone. Gets a lot of strikeouts that way. He pours a lot of strikes into the strike zone.
Up and in to Shogo.
In fact, in the last 2 weeks, nobody in baseball has thrown more strikes as a starting pitcher than Brandon Woodruff.
Akiyama 0 for 5 and a couple of strikeouts in his matchups this season with Woodruff. Two and 1. Woodruff was the opening day starter for this Brewers team. 27 years of age. An all-star a year ago.
Not a whole lot of tricking him going on out there, is there?
No, that's just old country fastball right there.
4 pitches, 4 heaters. What else do you want to know?
I want to know what he's going to serve up on the 2-2 pitch. We'll find out together. It's another heater right at the knees. See you later. Well, 97. Perfectly placed. 65% of his strikeouts have come on 95-plus fastballs. 18% higher than any other player. Wow.
It's really kind of interesting. I started looking game by game at Woodruff and what types of pitches he throws. And basically, his last time out, he's completely scrapped the slider. He went with fastball, changeup, curveball. And where normally that slider's been his second most used pitch.
Castellanos out in front as he finally threw something other than the fastball. No balls and 2 strikes on Nick. Opponents will shift a lot on Castellanos. In fact, 86% of his at-bats, opponents have shifted on him. That's the 4th highest in all of Major League Baseball. Right-handed batter. He went several games without hitting a ball at all to the right-hand side. Only Vogelback on the right-hand side, although his size could nearly cover 2 positions. Now the 1-2. Strike 3 called. His back-to-back strikeouts looking.
You know, it just seems to me like the Reds are looking for what we're looking for. The scouting report on Brandon Woodruff is he throws his fastball up in the zone. And you got to figure Castellanos is thinking, I got to get on top of this high heater there. I'm going to see a high heater sometime in this at bat. And Woodruff goes right down around the knees, the same spot he got Akiyama.
Well, that one appeared to be a little lower than Akiyama, and Castellanos didn't like it. He also dialed that one up to 99. And now Votto. Votto has had success against Woodruff, 6 for 14 and 2 home runs. Driven in 5. Still upright is Votto in that box, choking down on the bat. 2-0. What pitch Votto will get. Got the fastball at 97, 2-1. It's been a struggle against the Brewers this year for Votto, and that's un-Votto-like because the Brewers, he has done major damage in his career. But 0 for 15 against the Brew Crew so far.
Yeah, wasn't it against the Brewers that Joey Votto was riding the pine? David Bell took him out of the lineup. I think it was right around that time.
Two balls and 2 strikes on the Reds' first baseman. Grounded. Will be a tough play, but made nicely. Reds are done in the spot. The Cardinals will play 3 in Kansas City and will play 5 times against this Brewers club, including a doubleheader. Reds a game back of the Cardinals, although the Cardinals own the tiebreaker over the Reds. Brewers and Reds deadlocked. See what they have left. Right now, the Reds hold the tiebreaker over the Brewers, but with this series pending, of course. So with the tiebreaker being won by the Cardinals over the Reds, you're in essence 2 games back of St. Louis. This is Suarez charging again, running throw for out number 1, retiring Jed Jerko.
Well, so far for Luis Castillo, what you're looking at are Brewers that are coming out of the dugout swinging the bat. So that's a good thing because he does not give up very much solid contact. He gets a lot of ground balls, and the Reds defense will be on the balls of their feet tonight. The last thing you want is Castillo working his pitch count way up and having to get him out of there too early in the ballgame.
First pitch to Jace Peterson. Ball 1. Line drive right at Galvis. Ball was stung. Positioned perfectly. 2 down. And that'll bring up Orlando Arcia. You go down the numbers against Castillo. Believe it or not, it is Orlando Arcia who's done the most damage to Luis Castillo.
I would never guess that in a million years.
10 for 25, 8 RBIs against Castillo.
You know, the other thing about Arcia this year is that he's been the most consistent Brewer hitter from the beginning of the season all the way through. I mean, he's still batting down around number 8 or 9 spot. And every year it seems like the Brewers are trying to give his job away. This year they brought in Sogard, or last year they did. Every year it seems like they've got a shortstop that's going to be better than Arcia, but when all the smoke clears, there's Arcia playing shortstop.
2-1 pitch. Charging again, Suarez. Much tougher play here, but Nicely done. It's a 1-2-3 second for Castillo. Second, turned in by Luis Castillo. Here's the Brewers defensively, brought to you by Ford. Yelich in left, Garcia center, Chase Peterson in right. An infield of Jerko, Arcia, Hira, Vogelback at first base, and Omar Narvaez behind the plate. Big Daniel Vogelback. As Eugenio Suarez will climb in. Suarez, Moustakas, Winker due up for the Reds here in the second. Woodruff struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced in inning number 1. Wind up in the 1-0. It was a steady diet of mostly fastballs in inning number 1 from Woodruff. Fastball and a breaking ball to start off Suarez. 3-0.
A little smaller step, it looks like, by Suarez. His front leg, sometimes when you're really going good, you feel aggressive, you feel comfortable about kicking that leg up a little bit higher. When you're slumping a little bit, you want to become quieter. And he's got a little quieter approach and gets a 4-pitch walk.
First base runner for the Reds. Third start for Woodruff against the Reds this season. A couple earned runs in each start. 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Last time he faced the Reds. Yeah, this is former teammate versus teammate here. Woodruff for the first time working from the stretch. Ripped into right field. Suarez on his way to third base. Moustakas a big turnaround first. He's on his way to second. Head first slide. It's a double for Moustakas.
Moustakas was betting the farm he was getting a fastball on the first pitch, and he ever get one right there. Belt high, inner third, and he lays the wood to it.
6th double of the season for Moustakas. And the Reds in business here. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Selling out on that head first slide. A little airborne. The batter is Jesse Winker. And Winker rips it, but right into the glove of Vogelback. Baseball, such a cruel sport sometimes.
Well, another first pitch fastball. It looks like Winker is all over it the same way that Moustakas was, but there's a man in the way. So this is when you're Brian Goodwin, are you? Got 1 out, you got the runner at third base, runner at second, but that runner at third is the guy you have to convert. This is the time when you need to give yourself a good team at bat.
Particularly when you look at the history we talked about, Woodruff and Castillo, they've been low-scoring games. Every run so crucial.
That's enough with those first pitch fastballs.
Arcia in on the grass. He's the only one on the left-hand side. Suarez can get a huge secondary lead if he wants it. Any ball that gets away from the catcher, and it should be a run for the Reds. balls and 2 strikes. Off, and it just squirts away, but not enough for Suarez to come plateward.
You know, it's got to be a little bit unsettling for Brandon Woodruff to get to his set position and then look straight ahead and seeing Eugenio Suarez about halfway down the third baseline. I mean, the third baseman and shortstop Arcia way over there. So he can get very, very close. The ball just gets away by 5 or 6 feet. He can come in and score.
Two and two. A big lead again. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Goodwin. Another check swing appeal. It's Mike Estrabrook down at third, and it's a full count. Close. And now Woodruff wants to talk it over with Narvaez. Freddie Galvis on deck. We're early, but a big pitch in the game. Swing and a miss. 2 large outs for Woodruff.
When he needs it, he comes rears back and throws that heater, and he comes right on the inner part of the plate to Brian Goodwin. You know, this year, I think more than ever, we've been able to see with more pitchers than ever throwing 4-seam fastballs, and that slow motion camera we have from center field, we get a great look at hitters swinging underneath the fastball. And with a guy like Woodruff and Castillo and Gray and Bauer, you're going to see that a lot.
So it's up to Galvis here with 2 outs. Down and away with the fastball. Another long look in by Woodruff. And another time call. You'll see this game played like a playoff game. With all 3 of these games here in the final week, you could almost say that the playoffs have started for the Reds. Two balls and no strikes. Every inning, every out, every pitch counts that much more this week. And that is a fair ball, gloved by Vogelback, and a first and second no-out situation goes by the wayside for the Reds. cheer at the ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer for a full list of cheerable games and let your team hear your excitement from home. Each team with a hit. Zeros in the run column. Third inning of work for Castillo.
The Reds have hit the ball hard tonight. Moustakas hit the ball hard. Winker hit the ball hard. Even the last out by Galvis was a line drive. Game of baseball, though, nothing to show for it.
Yep.
You know, really for the third year in a row, last 3 seasons, the Brewers have been basically the same type of team. They've had a high-profile offense with a bunch of high-profile players, guys like Braun and Lorenzo Cain, of course, Christian Yelich. They've had a lot of bright lights coming out of their bullpen. Josh Hader this year, of course, they've got Devin Williams down there with a pretty good backup.
Pretty good. He's been outstanding.
But their offense has been the same. It's just been kind of a stale, middle-of-the-road offense. And the way that Craig Counsell operates his ball club is that he lets his starter go out there 4 or 5 innings, and if he gives you 5 innings, that's wonderful. Then you go to the bullpen. And they've eked out enough wins that way this year to be right here in the thick of things in the last week of the season.
It's typical under Craig Counsell that they're playing good baseball at the right time. Not only the 4-game winning streak, they've won 6 of 8. And you look at the past 2 Septembers, and they've made the playoffs the last 2 years. 20-7 record both months in September. 20-7 when it counts.
When you have to get it done, you're right.
And they're going for their 3rd consecutive playoff appearance, and that would be a franchise record. But they'll have to do so playing 8 games in 7 days.
Well, they're the only team that is positioned to make the playoffs that is playing teams this week. All of their games are against the teams that they have to beat. Play a 3-game set here, and then they play 5 games against the St. Louis Cardinals.
That is good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Garcia. And that is for Castillo, the 19th 3-pitch strikeout this season. 19 of them. Second most in baseball.
That'd make a good T-shirt for him. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Sincerely, Luis Castillo.
Well, you're the entrepreneur on the side.
Now, these ideas are free.
Oh, all right.
And they're worth what you pay for them.
Brewers have 1 hit. It was Yelich in the first. Two and 1, the count on Christian Yelich. Now 4 for 15 off of Castillo in his matchups. Does have a home run off of Luis. And now the 2-2 pitch. See ya.
During the 2020 season, the Seattle Mariners and Miami Marlins haven't been in quite a while. The Padres and White Sox have already clinched the playoff berths there. The Phillies are knocking on the door as well, and so are the Reds. Haven't been to the playoffs since 2013. So every team on there has a chance to make it to the playoffs this year. That's how amazing this is, except, of course, the Mariners.
Well, it's going to be fun going down the stretch here. Reds a game back of the Cardinals for that second spot in the division. And we look at the wild card race as Kurt Casale swings and misses. It is Philadelphia holding the top wild card spot down. Second wild card spot, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, San Francisco, all with 500 records right there. Now, when you compare the Reds and these Brewers, the Reds have played 2 more games than Milwaukee. They are 1 up in the win column against Milwaukee. Brewers with 2 fewer games, but hey, you got to win those games if you're Milwaukee, so going to be interesting.
Well, if you're the Reds and you win 2 games, then you leave this series with a 1-game lead over the Brewers, and you also lead in the tiebreaker between the two.
Which is huge.
That is big. If you lose 2 out of 3 in this series, and you come 1 game behind and you're tied in the tiebreaker, that's when it goes to the interdivisional comparison and that tiebreaker.
One time through the lineup for Brandon Woodruff. A hit, a walk, 3 strikeouts. So we will keep our eyes on the Phillies, Giants, Cardinals. Some major scoreboard watching. 1-1 to Akiyama. Phillies, 4 games in Washington, including a doubleheader tomorrow. They will finish at Tampa Bay for 3. Right now, Phillies losing 2-0 top of the 4th in Washington. Giants have 4 versus the Rockies and 4 versus the Padres, including a doubleheader on Friday. Cardinals 3 in Kansas City, 5 against these Brewers, including a doubleheader. It's an 8:05 Eastern Time start. St. Louis in Kansas City. Awkward swing, busted him inside, and it's the 4th strikeout for Woodruff.
Second time in 2 at-bats, and he's gone right in the kitchen of Shogo Akiyama.
And that'll bring up Nick Castellanos. Year for Woodruff, we talked about an all-star season. Team went 18-4 in its starts a season ago. They are 4-5 behind Woodruff here in 2020. Not his decisions, the team winning or losing a game in which he starts. For whatever reason, he has turned it up against division opponents. And here in 2020, you're facing mostly your division. Granted, opponents hitting in the division just 175 batting average against Woodruff. Count holds at 0-2 on Castellanos. One and two. Wind up in the 2-2 pitch. Do it again.
Woodruff is another one of those pitchers, and we talked a lot, it seems like, recently about these guys that are coming out of Mississippi State. The alma mater of Jeff Brantley. He has the distinction of actually being drafted in the 5th round as a high schooler, going to college, and then dropping to the 11th round when he was drafted out of college. Usually it's the other way around.
2-2 again.
Changeup. How about a 100 batting average with 32 strikeouts in 7 starts? I mean, and we've said this many times, and we're not joking when I say it. He could tell them, here comes the changeup, and they wouldn't hit much over 200.
He'll get Ryan Braun to start the 4th inning for the Brewers. Braun a little tapper back to Castillo in the 1st. And Braun, 36 years of age, the all-time leader for home runs for the Brewers. Franchise history, 351 of them. Will this be the last go-around for Ryan Braun in a Brewers uniform? 36 years of age. It's the final year of a guaranteed contract. There's a $15 million mutual option on the table. Most so-called experts believe the team will not sign up for their half of that mutual option. And down he goes. So perhaps the final go-around for Braun.
Well, it really looks like it's settling in to be a pitching duel here and maybe a matchup of strikeouts. That's 3 in a row now for Castillo. Woodruff has 2 in a row, but has logged 5 of them altogether.
Castillo has walked 1. It was to Vogelback. Cue ball shot foul. 0-2. Wide up in the 0-2 pitch. Chopper. Votto backs, fields. 2 down. And the batter's Keston Hiura. Hiura also had a tapper in front of the plate, which was gobbled up by Casale right in front of home plate. Tagged him out to end the 1st.
That tapper for Hiura is about as close as you can come to a strikeout, but make contact and make it out. Because it never really did get off the plate, did it?
Barely. If at all. Ball and 2 strikes on the Brewers' second baseman. Oh, 2 to 2-2. This pitcher has been very efficient. Just 48 pitches for Castillo. 2 outs into the 4th. And now the count is full. Payoff pitch.
You know, as I watch Castillo work, it's easy to completely forget about all the hard work that it takes to get a pitcher with his talent to where he is. I mean, he throws exceptionally hard. He's got a great second pitch. No one has a much better changeup than Castillo. The work that Derek Johnson has done with Luis Castillo to just, kind of fine-tune what was already there and keeping him on the rails when you start going off, because that's a constant battle in sports. He's done a super job.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Howard White Sox. And yesterday, hey, you take them how you can get them. It was an odd fourth inning for the Reds. And it was one in which the White Sox went away scratching their heads. They scored 5 runs, scored on 6 walks, 2 ground outs, and a 2 RBI single. At the time, it was very weird to say Mike Moustakas just broke up the no-hitter, and it gives the Reds a 5-0 lead. But that's exactly how it unfolded. But a W is a W, and it was one of the biggest of the season. Joey Votto called it the biggest series of the season, which sets them up to trump that series with this series against the Brewers. That's how it goes. You win, and the series just get bigger.
I think the difference between the two series, though, are that both of the teams are playing intense baseball in this series. First day the White Sox were in, and they were celebrating big time, making it into the playoffs the night before. They ran out a kid who had only pitched in one other major league game. Dallas Keuchel pitched a great game for 4+ on Saturday. The White Sox won that game. And then yesterday, Dylan Cease, 24 years old. Yeah, he's part of the rotation, but mainly because of injuries. And there just wasn't the intensity that you see, I think, going on right here tonight. Although even this is hard to measure, because with the no fans in the stands, it's been kind of my observation all year long that a lot of veteran players have had a hard time getting fired up, getting the juices going the way they normally do when you're playing in front of crowds. And somehow you have to get it done here this week.
2-2 to Votto. And he knew it. That is 3 in a row punched out by Brandon Woodruff. 6 overall. Painting the outside corner with the fastball. And now he'll go to work on Suarez. Woodruff has walked 1. It came to Suarez to lead off the second as the Reds had a golden opportunity in the second. Second and third, nobody out. And really the biggest at-bat of the game so far was Winker's line drive that was right at Vogelback. It would have scored 2. Big cut on 2-0. And now the 2-1 from Woodruff. base hit left field. Stung it. Hit it right through the shift.
It really didn't look to me like Woodruff wanted to throw Eugenio Suarez very many fastballs. First couple of pitches in the at-bat were curveballs. And I think he realizes that Suarez sees his fastball pretty well. And he got it down in the hitting zone. And Suarez, despite the fact he's having a non-Eugenio Suarez year, put the wood to it pretty well there, right on the sweet spot.
Last time up, Moustakas hit one on the sweet spot. It was a double. 111.7 miles per hour off the bat on that double. That's his hardest hit ball of the season. Two and 0. Three balls and no strikes. Woodruff looks like he wants no part of the Moose.
Well, he's going to have part of him because it's a 3-0 count, and you got to figure that Moose has the green light.
It's a 4-pitch walk. Second walk given up by Woodruff. Yeah, Moose crossing. Got his own cheering section down there. In fact, it's the only cheering section in the ballpark. Grounds crew has been bringing it each and every game. Now first and second, one out. And the batter is Jesse Winker. Had these same two guys on in his first at-bat. A hard line drive right at the first baseman.
Yeah, that one came off a fastball, first pitch of the at-bat. Let's see what Woodruff does here.
Wants to talk it over again. He and his battery mate have not been on the same page.
Well, what makes it complicated here is that you have a runner at second base, so now you're going through a sequence of signs. It may be the third sign, it could be the second sign, it could be the first sign after the number 2, whatever it is. So in order to change pitches, you have to go through a kind of a complicated process. It's a lot easier just to talk about it.
First pitch to Winker. There's a fastball down low. 6 for 13 off of Woodruff.
Yeah, probably would have been 7 for 14 had that ball that he scalded so hard gone in there for a base hit.
Low again.
Looks like Woodruff takes just a little bit off that pitch, that two-seam fastball that he's trying to run the other way. I mean, it's almost hard to believe when he's throwing at 95, he's taking a little bit off. But his other fastball, he's thrown it as hard as 98 tonight.
Hitters count 2-0. 3-0. 3 straight fastballs out of the zone.
Yeah, not really all that much. So what Brandon Woodruff has done is that he has redefined the strike zone for Jesse Winker. Winker's got a really good look at every one of his fastballs so far.
Did they turn Winker loose here?
Oh, heck yeah.
I could take all the way, 3-1.
I mean, every one of these fastballs is coming in at exactly the same speed. So it'll be a lot easier to time up rather than having a guy throwing one at 98 and the next one at 91.
Ground ball, trouble. And the Reds, another opportunity goes by Kroger. It's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it today, Kroger.com. And by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com. Luis Castillo back on the bump for inning number 5. He's been good against the Brewers' career at home. 2.52 ERA at home against the Brew Crew. 52 strikeouts compared to 13 walks. 6.16 ERA in 4 starts at Miller Park. No balls and 2 strikes on Jed Jerko. Castillo's retired 10 in a row. Over this run, his last 3 starts, just brilliant baseball. And here's a high fly ball, and the Brewers strike first. An upper deck shot and way out of here off the bat of Jed Jerko. Ninth of the season, 0-2 pitch from Castillo.
Now, the pitcher knows it right away when you hear that sound, and it was just a changeup that rolled all the way back from outside to inside, got under it a little bit, and left it up in the zone, and Jerko is way too strong and too good to miss that pitch.
Showing bunt is Jace Peterson.
You know, there haven't been all that many players that have attempted bunts. There are a lot have been shortening up on their bat. And thinking about it, those that have tried it, their fundamentals are terrible. I mean, they're bunting like you've got the third baseman playing in and you've got to get 2 steps down the line.
Yeah.
When you've got the infield playing against the outfield grass, you can afford to stay in the batter's box, lay the bunt down, and then run. That's been a strike earlier in that ball game, and Castillo was wondering why that wasn't a strike.
Here we are on September 21st, and that is the first home run Castillo has allowed here in the month of September. The key, a solo shot. Strike 3 called. 5th strikeout for Castillo. Orlando Arcia brushes him back. 98 on that heater. Castillo was riding an 18-inning scoreless streak before that Jerko home run. And this will fall in front of Goodwin. Arcia continues his hot hitting off of Castillo, now 11 for 27.
You know, there was a time that all you had to do to pitch to Orlando Arcia was just throw the ball on the outer part of the plate. Knee high, outer third or beyond, and he's an automatic out. But he's really tightened it up a little bit. He's not stepping in the bucket nearly as much as he used to. He's got a much better two-strike approach, although we've not seen that tonight. Hasn't been to two strikes. That's a good level swing on a pitch that Castillo got up.
One on the 9-batter, Omar Narvaez. Arcia 2 steals and the only attempts he's made here in 2020. Oh, and 2. Goes the runner, and it's fouled back. And now a quick message from La Rosas.
Every game this year, 11 strikeouts means a $1,000 donation to the Reds Community Fund.
Count holds at 0-2 on Narvaez. Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
Good old-fashioned four-seam fastball, although you see the pitch coming out of Castillo's hand. It's kind of on the side of the ball. He throws a little bit of a natural cutter in that respect. But his natural arm slot is a little bit lower than a lot of other pitchers. It just looks so free and easy, though.
Back to the top of the order now, and Abisail Garcia. Ground out and a strikeout so far for Garcia.
Garcia was originally signed by the Detroit Tigers. That's where he came up to the big leagues when he was 21 years old. Then he got traded over to the White Sox. And he mired in the White Sox between 2013 and 2018. Then he went to Tampa Bay, but all those years the White Sox really didn't have all that much going on. And now they're got one of the best teams in baseball, and here he is on another ball club. Been a good player, had a nice career, 9 years in the major leagues.
Castillo in the driver's seat. No balls and 2 strikes. Shaw came out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but
All year long, which is strikeout looking. 4 of the 6 that he's had tonight have been the looking variety, and it's not unusual, really, for Woodruff to do that. He came into the ball game today with the most caught-looking strikeouts, along with Shane Bieber at 31. Also on that list, way up there, Trevor Bauer and Sonny Gray. And, you know, someday I'm going to have to corner one of these baseball analysts, one of the really smart ones, and ask him, why do some pitchers strike out hitters swinging and others strike them out looking? There's got to be an answer. I just don't know what it is.
I'm not sure they'll have an answer. One to Goodwin. Ladder third for the Reds here in the 5th. Goodwin, Galvis, Casale. Now trailing 1-0. Count holds at 1-2.
You know, I don't think the center field spot this year for the Reds has turned out anything like they had thought. Going back to February and March, putting your ball club together. Even before that, putting your roster together, making your free agent signings. They thought that Akiyama might be out there, maybe Senzel. It's now come down to Brian Goodwin playing out there in one of the biggest games of the year. A lot of that, of course, with injuries to Senzel, keeping him from being able to play.
And here comes Freddie Galvis. 7 strikeouts now for Woodruff. A couple of them on Goodwin. First pitch to the switch-hitting Galvis is up and away. Talked yesterday about it'd be interesting to see how they divvy up the playing time at shortstop in such a crucial week. You go with a veteran player or a rookie in Jose Garcia. David Bell said as much, that he would give the nod to a veteran in most circumstances with Galvis out there tonight, although the Reds do face a left-handed pitcher tomorrow night. Brett Anderson goes to the hill for the Brewers, and likely we'll see Jose Garcia in the starting lineup tomorrow.
Well, Galvis is a switch hitter, so the option is there if you want to do that. I think most managers would opt the way that David Bell has. I mean, his job is not to develop players. His job is to win ball games.
Now, defensively, there's no competition. Garcia's your guy.
Yeah, but that, you know, when you talk about defense, you're really talking about the entire season. Because what are your chances on one particular game that one shortstop's going to get a play to make that the other shortstop can't make?
Showing bunt. Full count. Payoff pitch. Two again. Here comes. Back-to-back strikeouts from Woodruff. 8 overall.
Boy, it seems like he's just beginning to get loose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really finding his rhythm, and it's not that he's throwing it that much harder. It's just that the deception is there. He's so nice and smooth and easy.
There have been many times over the last couple of years you'll see opposing managers in post-game news conferences saying, that guy has ace stuff. Talking about Woodruff.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of guys that get drafted with ace stuff, and they just can never put that third pitch together, or they can never control the second pitch enough, sometimes not even make the leap up to the higher minor leagues. Woodruff was kind of interesting, really. I mentioned that he was drafted 5th round out of high school, then the 11th round out of college. Normally it's the other way. Well, his college experience as a junior was terrible. I think he walked 25 batters in 37 innings. His earned run average was way over 5. And he decided to sign after his junior year at Mississippi State. That's when he had the most leverage. And I would say that from the standpoint of the Brewers, he did the right thing. It was the Rangers that had him in the 5th round out of high school.
That is so rare, especially when you're drafted out of high school. That, in the 5th round.
Yeah, unless you have an injury.
Yeah. The balls and 2 strikes. Woodruff about to throw pitch number 80. In the air, left field. Going back on the track is Yelich with room. Oh, and Reds pick 3 in the ballpark app while watching the game. And you can watch an exclusive video with Marty Brenneman and Reds legend Danny Jackson at Reds.com/Humana. Thanks again to Humana, who is proud to bring Reds game day fun right to you. Top of the 6th, 1-run game. Castillo's given up 3 hits. The solo home run by Jed Jerko an inning ago, the difference in this game. He'll get the meat of the order of the Brewers here in the 6th. Yelich, Braun, Vogelback. Ball and a strike on Yelich. Out front. We are in the 6th, and unfortunately talking about lack of run support for Castillo. It's been unfortunately a theme throughout much of 2020 when he's on the hill for whatever reason. Well, pitching in a true playoff race for the first time in his career, Luis Castillo. Full count on Yelich. As will drift out of play.
Well, you can't play much more on the line than Akiyama is down the left field line, can you? That ball was somewhat of a line drive, and he would have been right there to catch it in foul territory.
Entire outfield field shaded. Yelich is an opposite field hitter. Infield, shifting to his pull side. Good battle. Two of the best. 9-pitch AB. .80 pitch mark for Luis. Pitch of the at-bat. And it's a walk.
That's what you call earning a base on balls.
The leadoff man aboard. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Sure that'll at least get him moving around in the Reds bullpen. High fly ball, mile high. Akiyama, one down.
Take a 1-pitch out from Ryan Braun in September any day of the week.
What a day yesterday for Daniel Vogelbach. Not one, but 2 home runs against the Royals. 5 RBIs. Those 5 RBIs more than he had all year with Seattle and Toronto.
You're right. I mean, think about the players that the Brewers went through before they ended up landing on Daniel Vogelbach. They had Justin Smoke. He's playing first base. He had a $186. Gone.
2, Chris. And a
2.
twin killing. Middle of the... Good old good one, as they say. Quite the pitching matchup. Woodruff and Castillo. Right now in favor of Woodruff. Solo home run. The only run in this game. Top of the order for the Reds here in the 6th. Castillo getting out of that last inning in a very unusual fashion. He had an 11-pitch plate appearance to Yelich, right? He threw just 13 pitches in the inning.
We got
out of it.
Got a 1-pitch twin killing from Vogelbach to end the inning. So that always helps to get 2 on 1.
A first pitch swinging Ryan Braun. Akiyama behind 0-2.
I'm not sure that every pitcher could do what Woodruff is doing, but the Brewers have made it very clear how they're going to pitch Akiyama. They're going to crowd him with the fastballs. We've seen other teams try to go down and away with breaking pitches and make him chase and so on. They're just coming right inside. Now they'll go away this time, finally.
Ball and 2 strikes. Down goes Akiyama. 9 strikeouts now for Woodruff.
Well, he is having some kind of a night right now. He's handled Akiyama on strikeouts each of the 3 times he's been up. First time he's gone away with that little changeup. That's all he needs is a new pitch, right?
Castellanos steps in. The top 2 in the Reds order. Now with Akiyama, 5 plate appearances, 5 strikeouts. The 1-0. Castellanos down the right field line. He'll make the turn on his way to second base. And in there standing with a double. Tying run in scoring position.
A little jam shot base hit that goes for a double. It's about time he gets a little payback. He has hit the ball very hard over the last week with not a ton to show for it.
Double number 11. And now Votto. Woodruff from the stretch. I'd like to have that one back.
I think Woodruff knows what he wants to throw, but Narvaez has not called it yet.
Out to throw pitch number 90 of the game. Ball gets away. Castellanos on his way to third. Tying run 90 feet away.
Yeah, one of those that he gets his body in front of it, but the ball bounces and hits off the heel of his glove. So now with one out, the Brewers are going to bring the infield all the way in, cut that run off at the plate. Votto looking for a fly ball to tie the game up.
Got to make him pay for that wild pitch. Two and two. Pretty much straight up defensively in the infield. Laying in, as Chris said. 2-2 pitch to Votto. Garcia gives Votto new life. Couldn't come up with it on the foul tip. in and out of the glove. Defensive swing, 98 on the fastball. Still 2-2.
Now, with the way that Votto's been seeing the ball lately, he's the guy, I think, in this entire lineup right now that you want at the plate. Trying to figure out a way to get that ball into the outfield to tie this game up.
Just foul. Brewers have action in their pin. It's the lefty Alex Claudio.
Now, I think that both Woodruff and Narvaez has to now think about that last pitch. Votto right on that fastball. In fact, he was a little ahead of it. Do you come back with it again, or do you change up to something else?
2-2 yet again. Here it comes. Ground ball. And this will not get Castellanos home. 2 down.
Went with the fastball. When you hit a ball on the ground like Joey Votto just did, you hit it a little bit late. That's one thing that people neglect to talk about when they talk about trying to get launch angle and getting the ball in the air. In order to get the ball in the air, you hit it out in front of the plate. When you've got a guy throwing as hard as Brandon Woodruff, sometimes that's hard to do. Ball got in a little bit past Votto's sweet spot, hit it hard, but right on the ground.
Pitching coach Chris Hook out. Up to Woodruff. Arcia in the meeting. Narvaez.
Always good to see Chris Hook, Northern Kentucky guy, coming back home here, making it big with the the Brewers. Been in the organization as a minor league pitching coach for a long time. Got to be very close with Derek Johnson, and he was the guy that they decided would take DJ's place. Those are big shoes to fill.
All right, it's up to Suarez here. Castellanos on third base, 2 outs. Suarez has reached both times, a walk and a single. Breaking ball. Strike called.
You remember the base hit that Suarez had his last time up? Came on a fastball. I think all night long I've just sensed that Woodruff doesn't want to feed him many fastballs. It's a pretty good one right there, down and in.
Pitch. One and two.
So I just heard from our local senior tour pro on the Champions Tour, Steve Flesh, who says, watching the ball game, as he always does Reds games, that Woodruff would be given 2 shots for slow play. You buying into that?
Yes.
Great call.
Now the 1-2. In the air, left center field. That bad boy is gone. Eugenio Suarez, one swing of the bat, and the Reds take the lead.
Now that's a great call. He finally got the fastball that he was looking for. Suarez did anyway. And Woodruff will not face another batter. They're celebrating in the Reds bullpen. They're celebrating in the dugout. And we'll take one more look in the wheelhouse. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's a sweet swing when he hits it like that. Oh, and a sweet sound. Brand new game. Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Dealing until Suarez takes him deep. 2-run shot. And now it's Alex Claudio versus Mike Moustakas.
They've leaned on Claudio a lot last year. He led the league in games with 83. He's pitching in his 18th game here this year.
Close the book on Woodruff. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 9, and the home run to Suarez. And the 100th pitch of the night from Woodruff. Fair ball. The Reds take the lead. The great Bambino.
Stopper since 1995, pitchers have posted an ERA below 3 in a season while playing for the Reds. That's a minimum of 150 innings. Who are they? This is a tough one, gentlemen.
We'll chew on that for a while. All right, Luis Castillo now on the hill with a lead. Castanheira, Jerko, Peterson due up in the 7th for the Brewers. His counterpart out of the game. Castillo sitting on 85 pitches. Struck him out. 8th for Castillo.
When you get ahead of Castanheira, you really don't have to attack him with any more strikes. I think that Castillo won that ball a little bit more outside, but Hira swings right through it. That's an improving slider that Luis Castillo is featuring tonight.
Now a rematch with Jed Jerko. It's Jerko in the 5th. A second deck shot into left. Two and 1. Jerko didn't like that call. 1-2. Balls and 2 strikes on the Brewers' third baseman. Payoff pitch. To Jerko. We've got the lefty Jace Peterson coming up. We'll see what happens here. Amir Garrett has been warming up. Know anyone expecting or any babies that have arrived in 2020? Celebrate these new historic arrivals with a lifetime membership to the Reds rookie class of 2020. Sign up those babies today at reds.com/fanclubs. Third walk given up by Castillo. Tying run aboard. First pitch to Jace Peterson. A line out and a strikeout for Peterson. The strikeout in the 5th was the looking variety. One and one. Left field, giving chase. Akiyama, it's over his head. On his way to third base is Jerko, and it's second and third, one out.
And I think the Reds fortunate right there that Jed Jerko really doesn't run all that well, and he had to hesitate a moment because he wasn't sure whether Akiyama was going to be able to pull this baby in. As it turns out, it just goes over his head. Jerko goes to third, and a ringing double by Jace Peterson.
All right, now the Reds will play the infield in. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. The batter's Orlando Arcia.
This is where Castillo's looking for a strikeout. Now, he has 8 of them on the night, but has not gotten Arcia yet.
One 0. Check swing, appeal down to first. Mark Carlson, the crew chief, your first base umpire. Ball and a strike on the Milwaukee shortstop. One and two. Garrett has been throwing throughout this inning. He is ready, trying to stay loose. 99 pitches for Castillo. We've got a lefty, Narvaez, due up next. The business at hand. A 1-2 count on Orlando Arcia. enough. And now the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Just when you need a strikeout, Castillo gets it.
Big time pitch right there by Luis Castillo. Threw a really good slider, maybe one of the best ones of the night. You want that pitch to tail away from Arcia. And he does just that, puts it in a perfect spot.
And here comes David Bell. And he has already made the call to the bullpen. It'll be up to Amir Garrett to get the Reds out of trouble here in the 7th. Another good one turned in by Castillo. High stakes pitching tonight. Runners on base are his responsibility. Looking for a pickup from this guy, Amir Garrett.
Well, he has been Mr. Consistent, especially when it comes to retiring the first batter that he faces. First, the strikeouts. 23 of those, only 5 walks. And he has been lights out to the first batter. He's retired. The first batter he has faced 16 of 17 appearances this year.
And he'll need to better on that. The Reds are going to keep the lead. Craig Counsell is going to counter. Hitting for Omar Narvaez is the righty Tyrone Taylor. And Kurt Casale is going to go out and chat with Garrett and go over the scouting report on Taylor.
Well, all Garrett really wants to know is, can this kid hit a slider? To which Casale would reply, not yours.
Absolutely. Pump him up. 16th game in which Tyrone Taylor has appeared in. 233 batter, a home run, 4 RBIs. First pitch strike right on the outside corner.
One of the things to look for here in this at-bat, though, is sometimes Garrett will throw that slider. It'll be down in the dirt. And with as much spin as he puts on that, those are tough to block.
On the ground, Suarez. Long throw across. It's high, but Votto handles it. And the Reds strand 2 in the 7th. Cincinnati will win the brand new Tundra on display here at the Yard. You can register to win by visiting your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. New catcher for the Brewers, Jacob Nottingham, behind the plate. Alex Claudio still on the hill, and he will face a pinch hitter again the 7th as Aristides Aquino will hit for Jesse Winker. Going with the percentages here.
Well, Craig Counsell brings in the left-hander there, and he brings them back out. He had Moustakas, Winker, and Goodwin, all lefties in a row right there. So you're kind of feeding into the strength of a bullpen that has a left-hander, who is a left-on-left guy, which is Claudio. So, but with the 3-batter minimum rule, if you bring him back out for another inning, he has to face a total of 3 batters. So he faced one last inning, Moustakas, and he'll have to face Aquino and the next batter scheduled to be Goodwin. And we'll probably see Senzel.
Ball and 2 strikes on Aquino. Aquino hit his 2nd home run of the season yesterday. It was a 2-run shot.
Upper decker.
Part of a 7-3 win over the White Sox. And now the 2-2 pitch. Claudio has that extra little hesitation in his delivery. I'm sure his hitter has to get used to. It's a breaking ball, and down goes Aquino.
He took something off, a little off-speed pitch right there. He heated it up as much as he could the pitch before. That was 87, and decides to, I don't know what that was, a screwball or what, but it floated right in there on the inside part of the plate.
It will be Nick Senzel pinch hitting for Brian Goodwin. One and 0.
If there was ever a pitcher that you would want to change your position in the batter's box for, it would be Alex Claudio. I mean, move up in the box. His bread and butter stuff is 75 miles an hour or less. The other stuff he just shows you to tease. That was so slow it couldn't be caught.
70 miles per hour. It's not catching speed.
How slow can you go?
Nice. Isn't the line low?
Yeah, you would have to ruin that.
That didn't ruin it.
Actually, you got me
I like your creativity.
You got me out of copyright infringement.
There you go. Exactly. You're not allowed to sing those popular songs without getting a bill. But A for effort. Slow rhymes with low. Nicely done. There's ball drifting towards the stands and will fall onto one of the tarps. Two again, and again found out of play. Let's have Raisel Iglesias warming up in the pen. Winning every game in this final week, pivotal. You got a chance to grab a W, go after it. Field, right at Peterson. 2 down. Split the pot tickets available online. Jackpot now over $48,000. It's a rolling jackpot. It'll continue until the last game of the regular season on Sunday. Purchase now at reds5050.com. Must be 18 and older and in the state of Ohio to purchase. So get on it now. Proceeds on the Reds side will go to the Reds Community Fund. By the way, the Marty golf outing last night, another fine success, although in 2020 it wasn't your scramble 2-day golf outing on a golf course. It was held at Top Golf, and they raised over $100,000 for the Reds Community Fund.
Good job.
Congratulations to everyone in an unusual year. People still giving out there, and 100,000 large for the RCF. Dribbler. Claudio fielding his position, and the Reds are done in the 7th. All right, boys, thank you very much. 8th inning, top of the order for the Brewers. Amir Garrett on the hill, protecting a 1-run lead. It's Garcia, Yelich, and Braun due up. Nick Senzel stays in the game. He's in center field. Count is 1-1 on Avisail Garcia. Righty, lefty, righty due up. And again, the Reds do have Raisel Iglesias warming up and seemingly ready to come into the game at any time. Two, 1 pitch. Garcia 1 for 3 in his matchups with Garrett. Full count.
There's the good one.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Garrett.
Well, at this point in a 1-run ball game, every one of these strikeouts is a big out because that's what the Reds are looking for right now, outs. Back-to-back sliders. This one even better than the last one because even if Avisail Garcia hits that ball, it's not going anywhere.
And now a primetime lefty-lefty matchup. Garrett and Yelich. One for 8. Couple of walks. 3 strikeouts. Yelich versus Garrett. 2-0. Garrett needs a strike and can't get it. Tying run aboard. Here comes David Bell.
Yeah, Ryan Braun, the due hitter, so you're going to bring a right-hander in for him. That would be Raisel Iglesias, although you do have Vogelbach, a lefty, coming back up next to him. So Braun, of course, is the more feared hitter. And we will see the Reds closer in the 8th inning.
Raisel time when we come back. Has been brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Queen City, great American ballpark, lit up in all its grandeur. All Garrett can do is look on now as he put Yelich on aboard via the base on balls. And now the closer for the Reds, most likely called upon for a more than an inning save if he can get it, Raisel Iglesias.
Well rested, and he's throwing the ball right now probably as well as he has all year long. In fact, his numbers for the year are very good. Earned run average aside, you really can't do that with short relievers, but 26 strikeouts, only 5 walks.
Ryan Braun, a .214 batter off of Iglesias, 3 for 14. And blocked by Casale.
First base, Yelich can run. So a long double or a double that he can read off the bat, he will certainly give it a good shot to score.
A 1-0. On a ground out, a strikeout and fly out. Now the 1-1 from Iglesias on the ground. Could be two. Galvis, Moustakas. That's a double play.
Visit a participating Kroger location and receive a free Sonny Gray bobblehead. That's presented by John Morrell, and a Joey Votto replica jersey presented by Fox Sports Ohio. For locations and hours, visit Reds.com/Kroger. And a tough scoreboard stumper tonight. The answer: who are the 5 pitchers who posted an ERA below 3 since 1990? Sonny Gray, Johnny Cueto, Greg Swindell, Jose Rijo, and forget all about Norm Charlton. 150 innings. Man.
Oh, he started 1990 as a starter. Began the season, I should say, as a starter. And went into the bullpen. And the air off the bat of Kurt Casale. And out of here. Oh, that's a large run. Number 6 for Kurt.
Well, he greets the brand new pitcher, Drew Rasmussen, with a long shot off a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. This one sounded so good off the bat. Yelich went back and just ran out of room, and that gives the Reds a little bit of a cushion.
First pitch swinging for Casale. Huge run.
That's a mark of a caring catcher, taking care of his pitchers on a tight ball game like tonight.
Ball and 2 strikes on Akiyama. Into left field, past Jerko. And Akiyama aboard. Not sure if that hop fooled Jerko or what.
Yeah, a little overspin right here. He hit on top of the ball right at the end of the bat. And Jerko goes over and just doesn't really get his body in position.
Pitch to Castellanos. Here it comes. And a strike on a fastball.
Rasmussen, very young guy. He's only 25 years old. He turned 25 in July. He was drafted by the Brewers in 2018. Not only was he drafted in 2018, but during that season of 2018, he was recovering from Tommy John surgery. He was drafted in the first round in 2017, the first round by the Tampa Bay Rays the year before, and did not sign. Went back to Oregon State, blew out his elbow, and the Brewers got him in the 6th round.
Ball and 2 strikes on Castellanos. Shogo is lead from first. Now the 1-2 to Castellanos. Down he goes. 1 out. We set the table before every Reds game. Reds Live, the pregame edition, brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. First look at the lineups, features, interviews, tech talk, and more. And tomorrow, Sonny Gray returns from the IL. He will face the lefty Anderson. 6 o'clock for Reds Live pregame. Game to follow. Here's Votto. 0 for 3 night for Votto so far. If you're scoreboard watching, we're in the 4th in Kansas City. St. Louis has a 1-0 lead. In Washington, Nationals with a 4-1 lead over the Phillies. Giants will be hosting the Rockies 9:45 Eastern Time start. Johnny Cueto going for the Giants tonight.
One of the answers to the trivia question.
He's the answer to a lot of Reds trivia questions. One the count on Votto.
On that pitch, it looked like Akiyama was kind of a fake stolen base. And because he did that, the catcher jumped up out of his crouch, and it probably cost the pitcher a strike.
And it's a walk to Votto. Good at bat. StatCast powered by Google Cloud as Eugenio Suarez comes to the plate, back in the 6th. Oh, what a large home run this was. 108.6 off the bat. 5 miles per hour more than the average in Major League Baseball. 2-run home run off of Brandon Woodruff. And here comes Chris Hook, the pitching coach again for the Brewers. This will give Justin Topa, the righty who's warming up at the Brewers pen, more time to warm up should they go that direction. And we're going to have a pinch runner at first base. Joey Votto has been taken down. Kyle Farmer will run for him. Certainly not satisfied with a 3-1 lead. They've got a chance to add on even more here. would guess Farmer would stay in the game and play second base. You might see Moustakas move over to first. Would be the guess. First pitch to Suarez. Fastball in for a strike. Pitch. And a good look. 96 right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes. One and two. From 0-2 to 2-2. Strike 3 call. 98-mile-per-hour heater.
This kid can heat it up a little bit, can he?
Yes, he can. Morris thought it was a bit outside. Two-out batters, Mike Moustakas. If you're looking ahead to the ninth for the Brewers, due up, Vogelback, Keston Hiura, Jed Jerko. 4, 5, and 6 in the order. And with the Reds mini rally here, the home run and single and a walk, Raisel Iglesias has been sitting for an extra period of time.
Boy, you better get your body in front of that one. You have no idea where it's going to spin. He gets his right arm. He tucks it down next to his chest. Textbook there.
One 0 to Moustakas. Farmer on, getting a pretty big lead at first. Likewise for Akiyama at second. In the air to right field. Is the Moose on the loose? He is! Three-run bomb, and the Reds have broken this one open in the 8th.
A little salt in the wound of losing a quality player like Mike Moustakas to free agency. The Reds picked him up, and he makes his former team pay. these are some of the better at-bats that we've seen Moustakas take all year long.
No doubt about it.
Maybe he's getting rid of some of the nicks and bruises that have been plaguing him throughout the 2020 season. Hit the ball very sharply on a double in the second, and that home run was a no-doubter.
3-run home run against his former team in a huge game. High stakes, pressure filled. So far, so good for the Reds. New pitchers, Justin Topa for the Brewers. Second at-bat of the game for Aristides Aquino. Broken bat in on the hands and no one home. It's a 2-out hit for Aquino. Fourth hit of the inning for the Reds. Nate Jones is now up and throwing for the Reds with a 6-1 lead. We would not expect Raisel Iglesias to go out for a second inning of work. They hope that they can save guys like Archie Bradley as well for the rest of this series. Here's Senzel. Like Akiyama, his second at-bat of the game. Or like Aquino, I should say. Ground ball. A big inning for the Reds. Castillo had it going on. 6 2/3 innings. Pitches deep into the seventh. Gave up only 1 run. Home run ball again. The friend of the Reds, Suarez. The Reds were trailing 1-0 until he sent a 2-run shot out of here. Kurt Casale, a solo shot to begin the 8th, and then Mike Moustakas, the big blow to blow the game open. 3-run home run. 6-1 Reds, as Moustakas is now at first base defensively. And Nate Jones on the hill for the Reds. First pitch strike to Vogelback.
Really good to see the Reds offense, accept the challenge, add on here, and put the game not out of reach, but certainly within a comfort level. Here for David Bell. He's able to go to the bullpen. You made that point earlier in last inning, Jim, about being able to give Raisel Iglesias a little bit of a break. You bring in another pitcher instead, and you save Iglesias for another more high-leverage situation maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Iglesias threw all of 3 pitches. That is past Galvis into right field. Vogelback, leadoff base hit.
Keeps on keeping on what he's been doing for the Brewers.
That ball was smoke. And here's Castanera. As we speculate, Farmer has remained in the game, although he's at shortstop, and Freddie Galvis has moved from short to second. Ball and a strike on Hero.
One of the things that becomes very apparent about the Brewers is that the quality of pitchers that you see late in the ball game as to whether they are winning versus them being behind in the score is like night and day. When they're ahead and you're down 2-1, you're going to see 2 of the best relievers in the entire game of baseball.
Yep.
In Devin Williams and Josh Hader, and they'll spread out those innings however they need them. But when they're down, that's when that quality of arm really goes down, and the Reds are able to put that 4 spot on the board. That's the advantage of holding a lead through, say, the 5th or 6th inning.
95 on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Struck him out. 11th strikeout of the night for Reds pitching, and another $1,000 donated by La Rosas to the Reds Community Fund. Third time here is struck out tonight. In fact, 3 in a row. Batters Jed Jerko. Jerko 0 for 1 and a walk off of Nate Jones. Strikeout as well. 1 for 2 here tonight. The only run for the Brewers came off of his bat, and the only run given up by Castillo, a solo shot in the 5th. Down the right field line, bending foul. We'll do the 1-2 again. By Casale.
That was no block. That was a clean pick.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nate Jones. The Reds an out away.
Good-looking slider Jones is featuring tonight.
Strike called. Royals have tied up the Cardinals 1-1. They're in the bottom of the 5th. There's our hustling guy. Getting after it. Oh.
Points off.
Definitely going to get points off on the dismount. Been talking him up for days. Pressure got to him.
Is there an IL for the ground crew?
Oh, no, those guys are tough. There's another foul ball. He'll be back hustling. 1-2 pitch. He's hearing it from the crew down there. Now the 2-2. And it's a 2-run home run. Jace Peterson goes yard. And it's a 6-3 game.
Tell you what, he's had 3 impressive at-bats. Jace Peterson has hit a line drive in the 2nd inning right at the shortstop. And then hit that double in left center field gap. And this ball, a no-doubter. That's a left-hander's wheelhouse right there.
Eric Sogard will be the pinch hitter for Orlando Arcia, the lefty. And the Reds with the lead down to 3. Archie Bradley is up and throwing quickly. hopefully they don't have to go that direction. Count is 0-2 on Sogard. In the air to left. Akiyama under it. And that'll do it. The Reds take game one of this crucial three-game set against the Brewers. They have now won 8 of their last 9 and go one game above 500 and pick up a full game in the standings over these Brewers. Final score 6-3. Meaningful baseball in September and a very meaningful win. Outside of opening day, first time over 500 in 1,226 days. We shall enjoy it until game 2 tomorrow night, another crucial one here on Fox Sports Ohio.
Well, I think it was one of the rare games for David Bell where things went according to plan. You send out a stud pitcher, he pitches the way you expect him to. You get a lead against a good pitcher on the other hand. Brandon Woodruff threw a very good ball game, but you have a lead against the Brewers, which is so important. That way you're able to add on with some of the relievers that they bring in the ball game, and they needed those runs and a very sweet win for the Reds tonight.
All right, we've got a treat down on the field with Jeff Picorro, Eugenio Suarez.
Well, first he's got to get his wave into Jim Day, as he always does. But, Gino, man, it's so much fun right now. It looked like all game he was trying not to throw you fastballs. Off-speed pitch. He finally threw you a fastball over the plate, and you did something with it.
I was ready for that pitch, Jeff. You know, like you say, they threw me a lot of breaking ball, and, you know, I don't wanna chase those pitches. I just always be ready for hitting any kind of pitch right in my strike zone, and he made that mistake right in my strike power zone, and I hit that ball so good, and you know, help Castillo to win this game and my team. You know, we did a really good job. That's what we've been doing. Play hard and try to win the game.
Gino, how great is it playing defense when the pitchers, especially Castillo, Bauer, Lorenzi, Gray, are pitching the way these guys are pitching right now?
It's really fine. You know, you gotta help your team in defense and offensive today. You know, I made a couple good play, helped Castillo to, you know, did a really good job. He commanded that sink, so I was ready for that one. And like I tell you, I just want to do my best defensive and offensive. Today was good today.
Gino, the last couple of years down the stretch, you've just been trying to get personal numbers because you guys were out of it. You're in the playoff hunt right now. How much different is it, and how much fun is it to be playing real baseball like this?
It's fine, man. It's fine. Like I tell you right now, I don't pay attention about my numbers. I know what I can do. I just want to help my team winning. And right now, you know, like we got a chance to make a playoff, and that's our vibe right now. So, you know, good vibes only. Like I always say, we keep the same energy to play every day hard and keep it like this. This game is like a playoff for us. You know, we got to play hard to try to win a game, and we did it, man. And that's all that matters for us. Win a game.
Gino, one final note for you. It's been a fun 10 days for you. Congratulations on the birth of your new baby.
Thank you very much, man. That homer was for my little princess and home.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you joining us.
Have a good one. Gato Malo.
Gino, one of the best there is, man. Loves coming on with us, and we love having him because it means he had a great game. 2 big hits today, including that 2-run home run to give the Reds the lead. We come back, we're going to head over